Hi, this is Mary Ellen with Portraits of Me, and today I am coming to you with my middle grade March wrap-up. Okay, so from there, I'm going to do my next category, which is read a book that was made into a movie adaptation. And so the two books I picked was the BFG, and I don't have the other book, which is The Sword and the Stone, because it's on my nightstand and I forgot to bring it to my recording room. So let me start with this one then, the BFG. This is the book that I listened to on audio. The Sword and the Stone, I read the physical copy. So the BFG, what can I say, you guys? It was such a cute story. I've never read the story before. I watched the movie and enjoyed the movie, but I've never read the story, and the story was so cute and the audio was so good. So this is a story about a little girl, and sorry, I forgot her name. Here's the characters. Little girl named Sophie, who is taken by a giant, the BFG, and who finds out that all these other giants are eating children and people, so she devises a plan on how she can stop them, which involves the queen. So very good story, very cute, a lot of fun, mixed up words because of the BFG doesn't talk like a normal human because he's not a human, he's a giant. So he talks differently than we do and gets words mixed up. He's such a fun character. Sophie is very cute as well, and I really loved this book. Right after I read this book, I rewatched the movie, and then I was kind of disappointed in the movie because it's so totally different than the book. So I don't know if I'm a big fan of the movie as I was before I read this book, because this book was so good. I wish the movie was more closely mirrored to what the book told, but highly recommend it. It's such a cute book. And then The Sword and the Stone, which I'm going to put a picture here, is the other book that I read because I love the Sword and the Stone cartoon. And I started reading this book and I haven't finished it yet, but I am enjoying the story. It just takes a little while longer to read because it's not an easy read, because it was written back in the 30s, and of course the writing style is so much more different than reading a book like this. So I am enjoying the story. I am noticing differences between the cartoon and the book, but overall the story is still lots of fun. You get, of course, so much more information in the book than in the movie, so I'm really enjoying my reading experience. Just haven't finished it yet, but I am going to continue the book into April. Okay, one more category, you guys. And that category is to read books with pictures and illustrations inside. And so the two books I picked are these two books right here. And Melamander is the book that I picked that I read the physical copy. And then The Magic Misfits was the audio pick that I chose for this category. So let's go to this one first, because the audio, you guys, I loved it. And it was by Neil Patrick Harris, who did the audio. So you know it's good because he's an actor and he knows how to really portray characters, right? So this story is about a boy who runs away from an abusive father, I believe. And he ends up in this small town and gets mixed up with some circus people who want him to join the circus because he has a knack to do magic tricks. But instead he ends up meeting other kids that are a better influence on him. And so it's a really cute story about a boy trying to make the right decision, and it's a fun story because the book also gives you some magic tips. Here's an example of one. So I actually did this one because I thought, I'm going to try these tips. This is how to roll coins on your knuckles. So I took a quarter out and tried it, and it wasn't as easy as these directions make it seem, but I'm sure after practice you can get a lot better. But I like that aspect of the book. It kind of shows you different things you can do. The pictures were really cute in the book, really well done, and helped enhance the story. And overall, I thought it was a good story. Liked the characters, loved the little magic misfit group of kids, and their abilities to do magic. And I like the villains too. The villains were actually pretty good. Here they are right here. The villains were fun villains. I think for a kid's book, scary, but not too scary. And yeah, I liked it. It was such a fun story. Would highly recommend it. I was really surprised I liked it as much as I did. I want to read the other book that's in this series, and I would recommend the audio just because Patrick Neil Harris. I said that backwards, didn't I? I would really recommend the audio because Neil Patrick Harris did such an awesome job on portraying those characters. So highly recommend that in audio. And now the physical book that I picked was this book right here. And this was a fun book as well. I really did enjoy this book. And this book is about a girl, her name is Violet, whose parents disappeared when she was little. And so she's trying to discover who her parents were. So she goes to Herbie, who is a little boy who works for a hotel as a lost and founder. And the hotel he works at is where Violet's parents disappeared from. And that's where she was discovered alone with no parents. And so the whole mystery of what happened to her parents also involves this legendary creature called the Malamander that is like a folklore for the area of this city. So kind of like where you go to places to find Bigfoot, people go here to find the Malamander, but no one really believes that it exists. But as Violet and Herbie are looking for her parents, they find out that maybe the Malamander does exist. And they're not the only ones that are discovering information about the Malamander. There's also this evil man who wants to capture the Malamander as well for his own sinister reasons. And so he's the bad guy in this story who is trying to stop them from finding the Malamander first or discovering what happened to Violet's parents. Very good book. Very cute characters. The only drawback on this book is that there are so many characters. There's like so many characters, and not a lot of them have been fleshed out. So you get just like a little appearance here, a little appearance there of another person, and then yeah, I don't know. I thought there was too many characters for a middle grade book, and the reason why I thought that it was because not all characters needed to be in this book, because not all of them had a role in the book that really forwarded the storyline, but they were just placed there for information drops and things like that. So overall, really good book. Would recommend this one as well if you like a mystery and if you want to discover some creature that lives in the ocean. Very interesting concept. I really enjoyed the story. Plus, look at this cover. It's gorgeous. So that's the book I read for... Oh, did I show you illustrations in this one? Okay, let me show you some illustrations, because that's what the category was for this book. Okay, well, here's one. This is a sea captain. He's one of the characters in the story. And then you have Violet and Herbie right there. And then I'll try to find one more, because I thought the drawings were really well done in this book as well. So there are some examples of the beautiful illustrations in Malamander. So there you have it. Those are all the books that I read for middle grade March. I had a goal of reading 11 books and I read 9, so not too bad. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Plus I read 4 other books for the month of March, which I did a quick wrap up on, and I will leave the link somewhere in the description box or in a card above. Check that out as well if you're interested in that. If you participated in middle grade March, please let me know, and let me know what books you read. I would love to start a conversation with you in the comment box below. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. And consider subscribing to my channel if you're not subscribed already and are interested in learning more about books and the books that I read. And as always, you guys have a great morning, day, evening, or night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!